Hello, my name is Claude White, and yes, it is time for NFL picks. And at the end of our NFL picks, I actually have the latest on the guy I like to call Cynnabunz, Dwight Howard. But let's begin with the NFL picks. Let's begin with tomorrow night's game between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Tennessee Titans. Of course, Cody Kessler will start at quarterback for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Marcus Mariota has been an enigma as well. That is the starting quarterback for the Tennessee Titans. He has been mediocre at best. And it's funny, the two top picks of that particular draft, Jameis Winston and Marcus Mariota, have regressed each of the seasons they've been in the league. Now, no one has regressed quite as bad as Blake Bortles. That's why he is benched for Cody Kessler. Leonard Fournette should be back. He served his suspension last week. I was going back and forth between these guys, but I think Tennessee, I have to give them the edge because they're at home and because I just can't trust Cody Kessler. No matter how bad Blake Bortles is, it's not like Cody Kessler is an upgrade. He is not. And so I'm going to roll with the Tennessee Titans at home. They do play better at home, and I do pick them to win 24-13 over the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now the second game that I'm going to pick, the Baltimore Ravens go into Kansas City to take on the Chiefs. Now the Chiefs obviously will be without Kareem Hunt. He has been cut, has went through waivers already. I mean, we already know the circumstances, but well, we somewhat know the circumstances behind that. In fact, I think I will be doing an upload on that tomorrow because I'm going to compare that to Ray Rice. And also, I'm going to also go through why Colin Kaepernick is still not in the league. Even though, let's face it, we basically already know this. But I am going to speak on it further. Now, Baltimore has won 4 in a row with the young man Lamar Jackson at quarterback. He has not played that great, but the team has rallied around him. Now, their defense has been outstanding. In my opinion, the Baltimore Ravens have the most complete and best defense in the entire NFL. Now, I don't think it's going to be enough to stop the Kansas City Chiefs, however. I mean, Patrick Mahomes has been outstanding. I mean, Tyreek Hill as well. Sammy Watkins should be back. Travis Kelce is the second best tight end in the NFL. I just like the Chiefs. Eric Berry has started to practice. He'll probably be out this week. But look for Eric Berry to come back next week, week 15. And if he does and plays anywhere near the regular Eric Berry, I expect Kansas City to go very far in the playoffs. Now, I like the Chiefs to double up the Ravens by a score of 34-17. And this will be the game where Lamar Jackson, I believe, comes back down to earth. Now, the next game I'm going to pick is the New York Football Giants going to FedEx Field to take on the Washington Redskins. The Redskins will be going with Mark Sanchez at quarterback, while the New York Giants, coming off a stirring win against the Chicago Bears. Eli has actually played pretty well over the last couple of weeks. There's no way I can pick the Washington Redskins with Mark Sanchez. I mean, are you kidding me right now? I mean, they were struggling with Colt McCoy. And even though Colt McCoy was actually he was doing pretty decent. But there's no way I can trust a Mark Sanchez-led team. Cannot do it. And who did they sign as a backup? Josh Johnson. Yeah, right. Come on. As I mentioned, Eli's played well. Saquon Barkley will probably be the offensive rookie of the year. The Giants have played pretty well over the last 3 to 4 weeks. I'm going to pick the Giants again, 31-16 over the Washington Redskins. Now, the next game I'm going to choose is the Cincinnati Bengals going up against the LA Chargers at home. The Chargers at home. Listen, AJ Green, his year is over. I don't think Andy Dalton will play again. Marvin Lewis is doing the death march before he gets fired at the end of the season. I wish they would put him out of his misery myself, but they probably won't do that. They're going to milk that contract for all it's worth. I really like the San Diego Chargers. You see what Phillip Rivers did. I don't know if Melvin Gordon will play this week. I don't think they're going to need him. I would rest him another week, make sure that he's healthy and fit for the stretch playoff drive. I mean, their receivers are top notch. Listen, if they did what they did against the Steelers, imagine what they're going to do against a less than mediocre team like the Cincinnati Bengals. I love the Chargers big, 34-13 over these aforementioned Cincinnati Bengals. Now the Sunday night game has the LA Rams going to Soldier Field to go up against the Chicago Bears. Mitch Trubisky, from all accounts, should be back to play this particular football game. Chase Daniel actually filled in admirably for him. That was a terrible loss against the Giants. Now, conventional wisdom will tell you the Bears should beat them at home, Soldier Field, the wind, the cold. I just have a feeling that the Rams are going to play well. I like Todd Gurley. He's an MVP candidate, no question about it. Jared Goff has played well. I like the Rams defense. Aqib Talib should be back. And we already know the best defensive player in pro football is Aaron Donald. It's crazy. The Rams are actually built like a cold weather team. They just play in the warm weather of LA. And the Bears are okay, but that was such a bad loss. I could see them losing another game here. I'm going to go with the LA Rams in a mini upset because nobody figures the Rams should play that well in the cold. But I picked them 24-20 over the Chicago Bears. Now the Monday night game is the Minnesota Vikings going to face the Seattle Seahawks. Kirk Cousins, you know how I feel about him. He is a C+ quarterback. He has proven that time and time again. Russell Wilson, however, is an A- quarterback. I mean, it seems like Russell Wilson does more with less than any other guy in the NFL, sans Cam Newton. Now, he does have a running game this year, and his receivers are pretty decent. I like Baldwin. I like Lockett. I mean, his tight ends aren't too much to speak of, but Russell Wilson extends plays as well as any player in the National Football League. Now, again, Kirk Cousins has been mediocre at best. Now, Darwin Cook has been pretty decent, but the problem is keeping him on the field. His receivers are good, but again, it just comes down to Kirk Cousins. I don't trust him. I like the Minnesota defense. They really need this win, but guess what? So does Seattle, and Seattle's 12th man, I believe, will come into play. I'm choosing the Seahawks to win by a score of 31-24 over the Minnesota Vikings. And those are my NFL picks. But let me end this with the latest on Dwight Howard. He had surgery on his back, the nerve endings on his back. He should be out 2 to 3 months, which means he probably won't be back until early March. By then, I believe the Washington Wizards will probably be out of the playoff hunt. And I personally do not think that Dwight Cynnabunz Howard will play another game for the Washington Wizards. And let's face it, it looks like his buttocks are going to be out of commission, so I guess his boo thing will ask him what his